Hey everyone, so just thought I'd shoot a quick update here while I got a minute. Um, a few things been going on with the tank. It's definitely starting to fill out. We're getting all of our all of our corals growing pretty rapidly. Um, we bought a few new ones. Um, yep, and we added three anemones. We got one big one here. We got a great deal on these rainbow bubble tip anemones. They were $30 a piece. They got to be 5 inches in diameter. We added four clowns. One of them didn't make it very long. Kind of common with my experience in clowns. But we got two of these gladiators, which I had paired up in a breeder box for a while. They seem to be doing pretty good. There he goes. And then I had two of these black ice ones here. There they are. But they, or the pair for the other one for this one didn't make it. And yeah, I don't know. I'll probably try to get a fourth one. I don't see a lot of aggression between them right now. You look at the tank different times of days, and they always seem to be paired up with a different clown. So we're getting a lot of mixed match pairs here. So I want to get a fourth one, and I might even take these three out and put them back in the breeder boxes that I made in the sump. So, but we'll see. I'm hoping that they'll find these anemones. Here's the other one. This is probably the largest of them all. It's probably 6 inches. These are right where I put them. They have not moved. I put them in these spots, and they seem to like them, and they haven't moved. Had a bunch of anemones back in the day. This is the first anemones to be added to this tank. And yeah, I was hoping they'd host them. And to be honest, the gladiator pair, those two up there, they were hosting this one down here for a good 45 minutes. And then they just decided they wanted to go all over the tank. So that's what they did. Yeah, I recently picked up this large fuzzy mushroom in a trade. I love these things. What else has been going on here? A little frag of Garth Bonsai back there. But yeah. And then the third anemone that we got, we put in the cube. So what we're going to do with this tank, the other thing is, I don't know if I mentioned it in any of my videos, but we got a snowflake eel in this tank. There's our lawnmower blending that was supposed to help clean this tank and never really did much. But yeah, there's a snowflake eel. He's right in the back there. You can just see his face a little bit. He really only comes out when there's food. But yeah, so we put one in here. We're probably gonna put some rock anemones in here. There's a red mushroom that came as a hitchhiker on a trade, and so I broke the frag plug off and put it back there. As you can see, the algae in this tank is back, but I don't know. I think we're just gonna start adding anemones. Hopefully, it'll shade some of the rocks and stuff. And this one looks a little small right now. This one's at least 5 inches when he's opened up too. They have a really nice color. But yeah, so we got a snowflake eel in there. We had a flame angel, and he only lasted like 2 days. Never found the body or nothing, which was shocking. He had been at the fish store for a little while, so I thought I could, trust that he was acclimated to captivity. I couldn't get him to eat, and he didn't look unhealthy when I bought him. He wasn't the fattest thing in the world, but he was, by no means didn't look starving. But yeah, I couldn't get him to eat. I tried bloodworms. I tried frozen brine, frozen mysis, flake food, pellet food. Never saw him eat. But, I really think that this display tank is really starting to look pretty good. Now, we use the method here where we don't go out and spend $2,000 on coral the day that we claim our tank is done cycling. So we do a slow approach here, and it works for us. We go to the frag shows. We maybe spend $50 every frag show, sometimes a little more. But we buy a couple frags here and there. We trade with our local reefers, and you know, that's how we got to this point. So latest trades, we were getting some acros here. This one's pretty nice, some blue and purple. That bonsai was in the last one there. Yeah. And what else did we get? Wow, there's a whole bunch in that trade. It's hard to keep track of. In fact, I think one of them broke off the rocks. I'm gonna have to look for it. But yeah. And the other thing was, as you saw in the last video, was we replaced the sump on this system, which ended up being quite the operation. Yes. Shit.
Just gotta get all the sear in. This is my end here.
Here. Oh no, we didn't. Never mind. I had it.
You had it right
You
first.
yeah, you gotta do one first. But
Lift your end up. Yep. There you go. Alright, sit down. Alright.
alright, can you lift it so we don't drag it?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I should have. Okay. Oh, that's pretty.
Like a glove.
Alright, so we got this sump here. It's 5 feet long, so it fits under this 6-foot tank really nicely. It had 3 bulkheads on it, which is great because we got the primary and the secondary from the big tank, and then we got the little tank in the third one. The emergency drain I have going right here into the refugium, and yeah, you know, it's this is the breeder boxes where I used to have the clowns, and yeah, so I don't know, like I was debating on whether or not I wanted to promote this brand or lack thereof. So I figured I'd tell people the name of the company and my experience with it, and I'll probably make a more detailed video about what we went through. But this is a Crystal Reef Aquatics, the Stealth version, the Stealth 60. And it's cool, lots of extras. I had originally reached out to them and said, hey, I don't really want all these extras. Like, what happens if you like don't put half of this stuff on it and then just sell me this box with the baffles and the filter sock holder? And they said all they could do is it would be $25 cheaper. And I was like, all right, well then screw that. I'll just get your decked out one and just not use half the features. Or at least maybe down the road I'll use them. Which is not a problem. You know, I mean, technically you're going from a standard sump to a custom sump, even when you ask them just not to add things. But, so we ordered it on the 4th of July sale where they had 10% off, and they said it was going to be like 2 weeks. It ended up being like a month and a half. And then we were running into conflicts where like I was going to be traveling, and I was like, you know, I kind of wanted this sump to go in before I did all the traveling in August because, you know, we were having problems with the old sump, like flooding. It just wasn't big enough. There wasn't enough headspace in the sump. And it would be such a relief if I had this bigger sump. And, well, I mean, it ended up not coming till after a lot of this traveling. We got lucky. There wasn't any problems. But I'm a little irritated because when I was communicating with them, I kept being told next week, next week, next week. And it wasn't happening. So I don't know if it's just these salespeople aren't communicating with the guys on the floor who are building the sumps, or seems like maybe even a third party built this sump. You know, it got shipped from a different company name. Maybe it's just they run under a different name now. I don't know. But yeah, it was fishy, and it was frustrating that you know, we had agreed on 2 weeks build time, and then it would be out here, and then it would be shipping. The shipping company was great. They gave me a delivery window of like 3 to 6 or something like that, and like 3:30 or like just after 3 o'clock, I got a call from the driver saying, hey, I'm gonna be here soon, and I can't drive up your driveway because it's the satellite imagery shows that it's too long of a driveway, and that's totally understandable. Our driveway's narrow and everything, and you can't drive a semi truck up it, that's for sure. So I was like, no problem, I'll drive my truck down there and we'll take it right out of the bed of your semi and put it into the bed of my truck. And that part worked out good. But anyways, I don't want to talk too much about the Sump because I'm going to do a review of it. And that's where I'm going to, bring up some of the actual conversations that we had with the people at Crystal Reef and all that stuff. And it'll be a review video, just like I did for the reef breeders. It'll be a review of Crystal Reef Aquatics SRS 60 and the purchasing experience. But yeah, so I'm going to try to keep this one short. Already been talking for 10 minutes. So lots of cool things adding to this tank. Swap season in Michigan is picking up. So hopefully we go to a couple swaps here soon and add some new stuff. There's my snowflake eel. Such a cool fish. So easy to care for. The thing eats like a, it's like a pig. But what I really like about them is that they don't have good eyesight. So when you drop the food on the sand bed, he has to like smell it and like seek it out. And then when he grabs it, he just like thrashes it around and swallows it whole. I've been feeding him krill, and he seems to be doing really well. He's bulking up. I thought he was in good health when I bought him, and he was in good health. But he's getting fat. And he's definitely growing pretty fast, which is cool. So, yeah, this is going to be a cool tank. We're hopefully get another flame angel in here. We'll throw some rock flower anemones in here. Maybe another bubble tip or something. Get lots of color in this tank. And then have these like semi-aggressive fish and this eel in here. And I think that's going to be a cool way to, use this cube tank that we put in here. So... anyways, well, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you hit subscribe and follow along. I know this tank seems to be like a complete build now, but it's there's still a lot to do. We're gonna watch this tank grow out, get all full. So yeah, well, thanks for watching. Hit subscribe. Thanks.